Hi guys, welcome to today's video. If you're new here, I'm Heather, and today I want to talk about an iconic makeup product, one that I love so much and I used to wear back when these launched 25 years ago. Fortunately, this kit is not 25 years old. I purchased this in the Boxing Day sales and I have seen it available in several places online, so I will be sure to link it for you if you want to have a browse. In this video, I'm going to show you what the shades Miracle, Magic Spell and Spring Fling look like. I'll talk about wear time, how they feel, and you can have a look at the textures. And I just want to reminisce basically because, as I said, the Lancôme Juicy Tubes were so iconic when they launched. I just want to talk about how they compare to makeup products of today. So if you're interested in learning all about the Lancôme Juicy Tubes, then please keep watching. So before we go any further, I just want to rewind a little bit. Now, as far as I can remember, and I have done a little bit of research online, the product launched back in the year 2000. So they are total Y2K vibes. I see a lot of people, particularly on TikTok, trying to recreate makeup looks from that time, and some people get it spot on, but to be honest, makeup back then was no way as sophisticated as it is now. And I could be wrong, but I do remember hearing at the time that these were the first lip glosses in a tube. Which I know sounds crazy, but back then these were really exciting. As far as luxury makeup goes, so if we're talking about the early 2000s, particularly where I live in a very big town, and in our department store we had an Estee Lauder counter, we had Lancôme, and I remember there was a Christian Dior counter as well. And back then it used to be called Christian Dior, now it's Dior Beauty, but yeah, obviously lots of things have changed, but these just felt so new when they launched. They really were the makeup item to have in your handbag. So if you were out clubbing, if you were just meeting your friends for coffee, or basically wherever you went, if you pulled one of these out of your bag, number one, your friends would want to borrow it, but two, it really was like the it makeup product. So obviously back then, social media wasn't a thing. Trending products wasn't really a thing either, but had we have had social media back then, I know for a fact that this would have been a #1 trending product. I purchased this lip kit in the Boxing Day sale and I paid just over £30. The recommended retail price of a Juicy Tube today is £26 each. My lips are very pale, so I always like to line first. This liner is from Emmeline and it's a good one. Starting off with the shade Miracle, this is a gorgeous light pink and it has a stunning iridescent golden sparkle throughout. I would describe the formula as very smooth, so despite the fact that it has sparkles, I can't feel those on my lips, but it does help to give your lips that plumper effect. A little product goes a very long way, although I have applied quite a lot here, and I just wanted to show you how sticky they are. Next up we have the shade Magic Spell, which is a much deeper pink, but again it does have that sparkle throughout. This is the one that has the most colour of the three that I have. This is definitely my favourite shade of the three that I own. I don't know if you can see in the tube, but the product has actually split. This isn't a problem. To be honest, I think it's because it is so cold here at the moment. I just squeezed the tube a little bit and it wasn't a problem at all. I like to apply the gloss straight from the tube, but some people may like to just take their finger and gently tap it in if you want a sheerer effect. I find this shade so flattering. It looks very dark in the tube, but as you can see, it gives a nice natural looking finish. Now for the shade Spring Fling. This one is definitely more of a cream or jelly finish. I'm not sure which one, but there's no sparkle. So if you're somebody that just wants a really nice glossy lip, this could be a really good shade for you. I struggled to find out any information about the exact scent of Juicy Tubes. Now, I wouldn't describe it as vanilla. I would say that the smell is very sweet and more on the fruity side. I know I keep saying they're sticky and they're different to today's lip glosses, but they are really good. I now remember why I love them so much. I am so happy to have these back in my life. As I was saying, these launched in the year 2000, and I would say for around 10 years they were just so incredibly popular. You used to be able to get mini ones as well, which was so cute, and Lancôme, if you're watching this, you definitely should bring those back. But of course, makeup trends are changing all the time. We had the Kylie lip kits, which was all about the super matte lips. These kind of fell out of favour. However, they are now back, and for me, they bring back such a nostalgic vibe. And I tell you one thing that I really appreciate about these. Lancôme have kept them exactly the same. To me, the formula feels the same. It's like, I would describe it as a super high shine, glass-like finish, but they are sticky. I spend most of my time when I'm reviewing lip products on this channel saying they're non-sticky, they feel so smooth, which is of course amazing, but there is something to be said for a product that is a little bit sticky. I think it has a lot more staying power, and really this high shine finish, you really can only achieve with more of a sticky texture. I just love the fact they smell the same. They've got this light, sweet, they are a little bit sickly sweet, but I am somebody who personally loves sweet scents. There's no real taste to them, so it's not like you're going to be wanting to lick them off or anything. When I was reading on the website, it says that they deliver up to 4 hours of moisture. They definitely don't stay on my lips for 4 hours. However, when they have worn away, my lips are left feeling very soft, smooth and comfortable. They're available in 3 finishes, which is Sparkle, Creamy and Jelly. Now, this one is the shade Magic Spell. This one is definitely more of a sparkle finish. We have this one, which is Miracle. I would say Miracle is also more of a sparkle. Doesn't actually say what the texture is on the tube. And this one is Spring Fling. I would say this one is probably Jelly. There's no sparkle. They're all gorgeous. Now, as far as colour payoff goes, I would say these are definitely sheer colours, and wear time. If you're eating, if you're drinking, this is going to come straight off. And a word of warning, if you are out and about wearing a juicy tube and your hair's down on a windy day, your hair will get stuck in the lip gloss. I know these are problems that you don't normally have to think about so much with lip glosses, but when it comes to the juicy tubes, they are sticky and things will get stuck to them. When all is said and done, this is an iconic makeup product. It really did change the industry, and it felt like a bridge between the high street and the high end. Now, I know that Lancôme is a very high-end brand, but there was something that felt a lot more accessible about Juicy Tubes. So obviously I can only speak from personal experience, but I've always been somebody that is really into makeup and beauty. So I would shop in Boots or Superdrug, and I would buy from brands like Rimmel, Revlon. CoverGirl for a time was also in the UK, and I really did enjoy using their products. Does anybody remember Clean Makeup from CoverGirl? I always used to get a little foundation in a glass bottle, and because it was in a glass bottle, I thought that it was like the height of luxury. And of course in Boots we had Boots number 17, and back then Collection Cosmetics was called Collection 2000. Those were the brands that I was shopping from. And I do remember, sorry, I'm going way off on a tangent here, but I remember on my 16th birthday I was given some money, and the first thing I did, I walked straight into Debenhams. I walked up to the Estee Lauder counter because I was a bit obsessed with Liz Hurley at the time, who was the spokesmodel for Estee Lauder. I got a lipstick in the shade Tea Rose, and I got a little eyeshadow kit, and it was tiny. And I think the lady felt sorry for me because I only had enough money for those 2 things, and she padded out this Estee Lauder makeup bag with loads of other samples and goodies for me. And that was the first time I'd ever bought luxury high-end makeup, because to be honest, makeup counters back then were quite daunting. For me anyway, every time I walked up to a makeup counter, if you asked for a sample of something, they weren't always so kind. Maybe it was because I was young and they just thought, well, you're not going to buy anything anyway. I don't know. But when Juicy Tubes came out, as I said, it just felt like that little bridge between high street and high-end makeup. I remember buying my first Juicy Tube. It was a red kind of cream finish. I can't remember the name of it, but I wore it all the time. But around 20 years ago, I was actually an extra in a Ministry of Sound music video, and I remember it was quite a big production, and there were 2 makeup artists, and they were using a Juicy tube in the shade Fresh. It was like a nudie beigey colour, and it was gorgeous, and she used it on everybody. Everybody's lips were super glossy, and I was talking to her about it because obviously I'm obsessed with makeup, and back then she said that she used that on everybody because it was just so flattering. It made people's lips look bigger and it looked really good on camera. But I do also remember her saying if we needed to have a drink, we had to use a straw, because if you just used a cup, all of the gloss would come off. I've just had another random memory of Juicy tubes. Now, of course, when any product is popular, it will be duped. And I think it was called Maybelline Juicy Jelly. So if that's the size of the Juicy tube, I remember the Juicy Jelly being about that big. And they were definitely trying to go for the same vibe. And don't get me wrong, I did own several of the Juicy Jellies. I remember they came in different finishes, lots of Y2K colours like white, lots of crystals, like a purpley pink, all of those kind of shades. But the texture of those was a lot smoother, and they didn't stay on your lips even as long as these did. So they tried it, but there really is only one Juicy tube. So of course, another way that you could wear them is as a lipstick topper. So if you have a lipstick that perhaps feels a little bit drying, you could take a small amount of the Juicy tube and just pat it over the lips. It's going to give a more high shine finish and make your lips feel more moisturized. Just for a comparison, I thought I would show you this product. It's from Glossier and it's the Biscotti Balm.com. I do love this. It smells incredible. But as I said, nowadays, these tube lip glosses, lip balms, they're just, I mean, they're everywhere. So it's going to be really hard because obviously you can't feel how this is. But there's no sticky feeling whatsoever. This is like really smooth, really moisturizing, which is good. In comparison, here's a Juicy tube. I don't know if this is helpful, but take it from me, the Juicy tubes are definitely stickier. Another noteworthy point, I find you really don't need to use a lot of this. So one of these tubes will last a long time because although you are reapplying fairly regularly, a little definitely goes a long way. I do hope that you've enjoyed today's video and my little trip down memory lane. But, you know, it's so lovely for me to be able to talk about makeup that I loved back in the day. And it's great because these have relaunched and there is a whole new generation of people that are discovering them for the first time. You know, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in and say they are exactly the same as they were before. So I see it so many times with brands. They will reformulate something. I hate to say it, but with some of these brands, even like MAC, who I adore MAC, there was a time where I pretty much only wore MAC makeup, and sometimes they discontinue their shades, they reformulate them and then bring them back, and they're not the same. I remember I had a Velvet Teddy lipstick, and well, I had lots of Velvet Teddy lipsticks, and then one day the colour just changed. Same with the lipstick Angel. I found that was different. That's changed, but sometimes change is good. Sometimes perhaps they have to change the ingredients just because things are always moving along. But yeah, these feel the same. Another very casual outfit of the day. I am wearing this sweatshirt that I actually purchased from TikTok shop. My earrings are from Lavisa. So they have these really cute little evil eye design. And I like the way that they loop all the way around to the back. My glasses are from Perfume. I have a discount code and I'll be sure to link that in the description. And then for my fragrance today, I am wearing number 59 from Sol de Janeiro. This is so sweet. I told you I like sweet scents. It is absolutely gorgeous. This is described as a woody vanilla with velvet plum, sugared violet and whipped amber. And it really is a delicious fragrance. I do hope that you've enjoyed today's video. I will of course be back next Saturday at 6 p.m. with a new one. It would mean so much to me if you could like and subscribe, and I hope that you have a lovely day. Bye.